Hello everyone, welcome to today's current affairs session of Civilspedia. The topics we are going to see is Bogibeel Bridge, Rathole Mining, GST Council, and with respect to editorial topic, it is tea industry. So first one, Bogibeel Bridge. This Bogibeel Bridge is the second longest rail cum road bridge in Asia, and with respect to India, it is the longest rail cum road bridge that is connecting Dhemaji district with Dibrugarh district of Assam. And it is running over the Brahmaputra river by connecting north and southern bank of Brahmaputra. The importance of this bridge is it is helping a lot with respect to the military purpose as well as the civilian purpose, because with respect to this bridge, it made the connecting this Assam with Arunachal Pradesh, so that it is reducing the length of the traveling, so that we can mobilize the army easily to the Arunachal Pradesh, which is a contiguous zone between India and this China. So that this bridge is one of the very important with respect to the infrastructure of northeastern states. And another thing is with respect to this bridges, it lengths for 4.94 kilometer. And the next topic is this Rathole Mining in Meghalaya. The recent issue with respect to this Rathole Mining is there was 15 people has been under the trap of this Rathole Mining in Meghalaya. So what is the issue with respect to this Meghalaya's Rathole Mining is? It is the case of a illegal mining. Earlier itself, UPSC has asked about this illegal mining in the mains question. So this one is important with respect to of mains perspective. So with respect to of mains, this Rathole Mining is, what is it is? It is nothing but it is digging a hole of a small tunnel inside this hilly slope areas of Meghalaya to extract the coal from the coal seam bed. So the tunnels will be this much of a smaller length only, and it was 3 to 4 feet only the height. So that only a small children or small human will be enter inside this hole, and they dig this hole to get this coal from this coal seam bed. So the issue of this coal Rathole Mining is sometimes when it was flooded, the rainy season, this hole will get flooded. Thereby the collapse of this cave will happen. That makes many people, mining people, get trapped under this hole. So that is the issue. Recently, 15 people has been trapped under this hole. So why this issue right now is so much prominent is, even though this NGT, this National Green Tribunal, has banned this kind of illegal mining, still people are practicing it. So still people are get trapped under this issue. So why this NGT has banned this Rathole Mining is, first reason is in the Jayantia Hills, especially because of this Rathole Mining in the Meghalaya, the rivers are get polluted a lot, and the water bodies are also get polluted. So for example, the rivers are becoming more and more acidic. So the people cannot be utilized the water for irrigation or drinking purpose itself. That makes a water scarcity in this Meghalaya. And another thing is this Assam Dima Hasayo district is been highly polluted by Rathole Mining. So for this first reason, the NGT has banned this Rathole Mining. Second thing is to have stopped this unscientific and dangerous mining, because it is often lead to death, and also it may lead to health hazard to the mining people as well as the people surrounding these places. So because of that reason, the NGT has banned this one. Third important thing is this mineral policy. We have a sound mineral policy, but this mineral policy was not properly implemented, and this labor laws is also not properly implemented. Because of that, the safeguard of the people, this coal mining people, is not considered it. So NGT has said that we need to follow this mineral policy and implement this labor law safety. With respect to that, the NGT has banned this Rathole Mining. And third topic is the GST Council. With respect to this GST Council is, recently a council meeting has been happened with a GST, and they have revised this GST because there was a huge anticipation of how much this GST has been put on this some goods and securities, goods and services, that makes the hampering this India's growth in the external market. So for that, this GST Council was very important. The recent issue of this GST Council is they have reduced this tax slabs on 23 goods and services from the high rate of 18% to 12% and 5%. And with respect to the highest tax slab of 28%, it has reduced 6 items from that 28% of tax slab. And with respect to this prelims perspective of this GST Council is, it was formed under this Article 279A of this our Constitution. And the composition of the GST Council is, this Union Finance Minister is the chairman of this GST Council, and the Union Minister of the State Revenue or Finance will be the member, and the third most important member is the ministers nominated by each and every state. So either they will be finance minister or any other ministers that has been nominated by each and every state. they will have the voting rights. These three people will have the voting rights, while this non-voting rights will be go to this Secretary of Department of Revenue coming under the Ministry of Finance, and this Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. They will also come under this non-voting official member. And the additional secretary, there will be one additional secretary for this GST Council and 4 commissioner posts for this GST Council. These are the members composition of this GST Council. Among them, these 3 people have voting rights, and these people will now not have the voting rights. And with respect to the voting decision making also, 3/4 of the majority decision that the votes has been casted will be taken into the account, and with that 3/4 of the decision, Central will contribute for 1/3 and the states will contribute for 2/3. That is the weightage given to Central will be 1/3 and states will be 2/3 of the weightage. And each and every state will have 1 vote only. So that irrespective of the size or population, each state will have only 1 vote. And another thing is what are the 5 tax slabs that has been provided under this GST Council is 0% tax, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. This 28% tax is the most highest tax slab that India is putting on this indirect tax. And we have recently reduced this 28% tax slab rates on these 6 items. So that right now only to luxury and sin goods. Apart from that, this automobile parts and the cement industry will have this 28% tax slabs. This luxury and sin goods, it's not a problem. This automobile parts and this cement industries, GST Council has said that due to this high revenue complications, GST Council is putting 28% of tax. That is, GST Council is continuing the 28% of the tax slab on this automobile parts and the cement. And the 4th last important editorial topic is the tea industries. This in tea industry, with respect to this tea industry, is India is one of the highest producer as well as the consumer of this tea. And with respect to that tea, in 1823, the history of the tea starts from this 1823 when the wild tea has been discovered by the British official in the Assam Valley, Brahmaputra Valley. And for that, they started this tea plantation, and India is one of the major contributor of this tea plantation in the world level. And the top 3 contributors of the tea with respect to India is, first one is Assam, then West Bengal, and third one is Tamil Nadu. And what are the issues that has been struggling this tea industry to move up in this value chain supply is, first and foremost issue is this labor issue. Because of this low wages and the pending of salaries make the many tea garden workers to migrate from this tea industry to other industries. So there was a mass migrations happening in this tea gardens. And second thing is because of this low wages, this absenteeism is prevailing a lot in this tea industries that make this regular supply of the tea industry has been cut down. So because of these 2 reasons, there was many closing of this tea gardens in the Assam and many other northeastern states also. And second issue with respect to this tea industry is productivity. This productivity is very low in the northeastern state when compared with southern India. So the main reason for this low productivity is, first one is this planters. Because the planters who are making money from this tea garden, they are not willing to reinvest in this tea garden to rejuvenate the tea garden. So that this old tea gardens cannot make up with the quality that is already prevailing. So that makes the market to be going down. So that is the important reason why the productivity is less, because when they are making the money, they have to reinvest in it so that the productivity will be maintained. And second important thing is the recent climate change and the global warming makes this increase in the pest attack, and the frost is increasing, the hail and the erratic rainfall makes this tea industries to be severely affected by this climate change issues. And apart from this, third important issue of this tea industry is making a brand. Even though India has a reputation at the global level of this Darjeeling tea and Assam tea, still no, we cannot make a single brand of India in the tea industries, while the Sri Lanka itself have this brand of a Dilma. So India have failing to create this brand in this tea industries. That is the major reason we cannot capture the global tea industry market. And second important thing, what is the failing with respect to making a brand with respect to India is this huge domestic market. India's tea production is mainly targeting this India's domestic market. That makes this India's most of the 90% of the tea that has been produced in India are the dust tea. That is to crush, tear and curl variety, rather than going for this orthodox, that is high expensive varieties or the green tea varieties, because 90% of the Indian production is concentrating on this crushed dust tea, while this 8% only concentrate on this expensive orthodox tea, while 1.2% or something will have this green tea only. So that makes the variety is not happening. So that only India cannot capture this global market and cannot make this export to be a huge one when compared to other countries like Sri Lanka. And another important issue with respect to this tea industry is small tea growers. Those who are growing the tea in their backyards, which is less than the 10 acres, they will come under this small tea growers. They are not following any regulations because they are not come under any plantation act or any other tea industry regulation authority. So that they are going at the free of cost of this tea industries. That makes the largest tea gardens to be suffer a lot because they are coming under this plantation act and so many regulations, labor rules are putting on this large scale tea gardens, while the small scale tea growers will not come under any regulation. And another important thing is this estate owners who have been constantly targeted by this militants in the northeastern states. That makes this tea industries cannot grow at a much faster level. And a last important thing is this Tea Board of India, which is the highest regulating authority, which is promoting under this Ministry of Commerce with respect to this tea industry. But they are working as an ineffective one, so that they cannot boost or promote or support this tea production in India. So when going with respect to this India's export of tea industries, this India's major importer of tea industries is Russia. So we are exporting our tea to the Russia. But still no, we cannot make a single brand of things, or we cannot make a huge amount of a market to tea industries, though we have global reputation. And what are the measures we can take so that our tea industries can grow at a much faster level? First and foremost thing is we need to have more and more innovation, because innovation is the first and ultimate thing that will make an industry to grow in whatever the business cycle or dynamic business cycle is happen. Because when we have this more innovation, we need to have more different types of teas and how to produce the teas according to the season, so that we can make a market of this tea industries as per the season as well as to the market. And second important thing is we need to make this premium tea available both in online and offline. For example, this chai point or tea boxes doing a much faster level of at this online and offline availability of premium teas, but we need to have expanded to more and more companies, so that only we will get at a cost effective manner of this premium teas available to all the Indians. And third important thing is we need to have friendly labor laws, because the labor laws, if it is so stringent, it will not helpful for this management, so that they will not willing to implement this labor laws. So this labor laws regulations has to be a too much friendly manner, so that only it will helpful for the management as well as to the workers. So because the government has to be a facilitator rather than just a crunching of a regulator of the tea industries, then only it will be effective at the ground level. Because we will have more and more laws, but that laws is not prevailing on reality to the ground. So how we make this reality to the ground is a much important thing, because these workers are suffering a lot at the health hazard in this industries, tea garden industries, because working in the tea garden industry is not that much simple. So we need to make more and more improvement of health with respect to this tea garden workers. For that, we need to have friendly labor laws, so that the management as well as the workers both will have a win-win situation with the government. And another important thing is with respect to the government is need to give more export subsidy to the tea gardens, because the tea gardens will come under this agro commodity, but this still no, this was not getting a sufficient amount of subsidy to have more and more export. That is the ultimate need of this tea garden industries. And fourth important measures with respect to this tea garden industry is organic farming. This organic farming is very much important with respect to tea garden, because more if they are started to use more and more fertilizers or chemical fertilizers, that makes the soil infertile. That leads to have a hazardous health hazard to this consumer as well as to the tea garden workers, and it will lead to unsustainable model of economy. So for that sustainability of economic model, we need to have a sustainable growth in this tea garden industry. For that, the soil fertility care has to be taken care. For that, if we go for this organic farming, for example, in the Sikkim, they are promoting this organic farming in tea industries. That makes the sustainability model. And last important solution is the technological solution, because the climate change is affecting the tea garden industries at a much faster level. So we need to have a technological solution to handle this climate change, so that we can create this climate stress resilient tea garden industries. That will make this model to be a sustainable and more productive one, because this climate change is affecting the production and productivity of the tea garden at a much faster level. So we need to have a technological solution for this affecting this production and productivity of this tea gardens. And another thing is this integrated nutrient management is the ultimate need, because this makes the tea garden makes the soil to be a depletion of nutrients. So by having this integrated nutrient management, we will reduce this need of this chemical fertilizers, as well as we will make climate resilient agriculture crops into this integrated nutrient management. And last important thing is with respect to this tea garden industry is this making automation in that. Wherever there was a hazardous work environment, there we need to introduce this machines into the tea garden industries. While it will not lead to a mass evacuation of the workers from this tea garden, because just replacing the tea garden workers with the machines will not solve this issue. We need to place where the work of the nature is hazardous, there we need to have more and more of automation. While when there is a non-hazardous area, there we will need to allow the people to work. That makes more and more people are depending on this tea garden industries. Mass migration has been happened for this tea garden industries. We should not huddle these people to have a sustainable livelihood. So we need to support the people as well as the industry, so that only this industry will grow. Because when all the stakeholders of an industry is growing, then only the industry will grow at a much faster level. If a management alone is growing, it will not give a sustainable model. So we need to have both all the stakeholders of a producer, consumer, as well as the workers who are involving in the production. If all the stakeholders has been properly, the issues has been properly addressed and the grievances has been properly addressed, then the tea garden industries will grow at much faster level, so that we can reduce the mass migrations of this or other issues of this tea garden industries. Because recently more and more tea gardens has been closing down. That makes this workers has to be go and search for the another jobs. So for people working 20-30 years in the tea garden industries, they cannot easily shift to other jobs or other unskilled jobs. That makes the livelihood of the people to be under huge threat. So we need to make this kind of people, this mass migration of people has to be stopped down, and we need to properly address the issues of this people, so that we can make whole over North India can be come under this tea garden industries. They will be benefited a lot. With that thing, we will end today's current affairs session. Have a nice day.